Hi everyone, my name is Tony from the Footy Channel Groundhopper. Today we're going to look at the Isthmian League Division 1 North, the teams that are in it for next season, so stay tuned. So, good afternoon, everybody. Well, it is afternoon at the moment, but whenever you're watching this video, it could be morning, evening, night, whatever. So, look, wherever you're watching this video, whenever you watch this video, I do hope you find it enjoyable. But before we do get into the nitty-gritty of the video, just a couple of formalities. If you do enjoy today's video, then please don't forget to smash the thumbs up. It really does help the channel up the search, and it means new viewers find it more easily. So do follow Sean the Sheep there and do smash that thumbs up. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and hit the subscribe. Come be part of this great community. Over 6,700 subscribers. The channel's continuing to grow, so thank you very much to everybody subscribing so far. Also, bell notification. That will tell you when I'm live, have any pre-records or any upcoming shows. If you do want to become a member, it's 99p. You can do that clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, do that in chat, clicking on $, all money reinvested in the channel to bring you some great match vlogs next season. Also, in addition to that, if you do become a member, we will do some prize draws, so non-league prize draws next season. So do keep an eye out for that one. But that, as I say, that is only 99p per month. Right, so then, let's look at the Isthmian League Division 1 North, because next season it's going to be a massive season for these teams. So, without further ado, here are the teams on the screen now. So, at the top there, we've got Bowers and Pitsea, Brantham Athletic, Brightlingsea Regent, Cambridge City, Concord Rangers, Downham Town, Felixstowe Malton United, Golston, Grays Athletic, Heybridge Swifts, Lowestoft Town, Malden and Tiptree, Mildenhall Town, Newmarket Town, Redbridge, Stanway Rovers Community, Takeley, Tilbury, Waltham Abbey, Walthamstow, Whittam Town and Wroxham. That's all in alphabetical order there. So let's look at some of the teams that are in this league. So we'll look at the teams that have come down to this league. So we've got Bowers and Pitsea, who were in Isthmian League Premier last season and were relegated, so dropped down into Step 4. Also dropping down to Step 4 from the Southern League Central Premier is Lowestoft Town. So they've come down to Step 4 also. Now, being promoted from Step 5, so from the Essex Leagues, we've got Stanway Rovers Community coming up and Takeley, who I believe won the playoffs. Also from the Thurlow Nunn League Premier, which is the 9th tier of English football. Brantham Athletic came up as champions, and Downham Town came up through the playoff system. So they are the new teams that are in this league. If we're going to have a look at the teams who we think are going to do well, who we think could struggle this season, and who's probably going to be mid-table. I mean, look, it's going to be a difficult season because this league is a very, very tough league, as we know. I've covered many games there last season, and it is a very, very tough league. Obviously, Bury Town went up to the Southern League Central Premier, replacing Lowestoft Town as the playoff winners over Brightlingsea Regent. Brentwood Town won the league and went up as champions, and they went up to the Isthmian League Premier Division, which again, another day we will do another video on the Isthmian League Premier. Last season, we saw Ipswich Wanderers go down, Basildon United went down, Haringey Borough went down, and Sporting Bengal went down as well. Not surprised Sporting Bengal went down. They weren't getting a lot of fans at their stadium. They were probably, it was probably the away fans who were helping the attendances up a little bit. But even so, they were still only getting 55. And it's, to be honest with you, should never have been in this league in the first place. Haringey were very unlucky to go down by a point. Newmarket Town scraping that win against Wroxham, which keeps them up by a point. So, look, it's, as I say, very, very tough league this is as well. And I mean, how tough it is because if you go back to last November, Basildon United were top of the league. They're now relegated. That's how tough this league really is. To plummet so far down like that. But let's take a look at some teams who we think will be up there challenging at the end of the season. Now, for a starters, the one team that everybody's going to be looking at is Maldon and Tiptree. Because Maldon and Tiptree have been taken over. They got taken over back in February by the Drew Barlows. And they have been out signing quite a lot of players. And they've got a lot of players coming in. They've signed very experienced ex-Football League and players who dropped from the National League. So they've got some good players in there. They've even got an ex-Premier League striker in Gary Hooper. So they're obviously going to be the standout favourites next season to win the league and go up. If you go on the amount of transfers they're doing, they're apparently doing their ground up and everything. So now some fans in that league may say Maldon are buying the league. You know, you get that everywhere. But look, at the end of the day, they've got the money, they've got the investment. So, you know, if they can afford to bring the players in that helps them win that league and get out of that league, then so be it. But I don't think they're going to be the only contenders at the top of the league. I think Felixstowe Malton will be back up there again next season after missing out on in the playoffs. You know, they were leading it for a bit, then they dropped down, but they got in the playoffs anyway. So again, they lost out. Brightland Sea Region, I mean, look, fantastic season under Ryan Salter last year after the manager left. Brett Munyard left. Ryan took the reins. When I've spoken to Brightland Sea fans, they were just happy to be mid-table maybe. They didn't expect to ever be in the playoffs, but they got the playoffs and they beat Felixstowe Malton United very convincingly. Came to Berry Town. I was at that game. I covered that game. And I've got to say, they were only undone by a bit of, you could say, bad defending from Brightland Sea to concede the way they did. Obviously, they gave Ed Upson far too much space. And he managed to drive into that space and get his shot in, which he scored from. And Berry won the game 1-0 and got promoted. So I do believe Brightland Sea will be up there again. You know, they've released a few players. You know, Christian's gone as well, the goalkeeper. And wish him luck for his career wherever he's gone to. But look, I still expect Brightland Sea to be back up there challenging again. I really do. I've got to know Ryan very well, and knowing the type of manager Ryan is, he won't let their standards drop. So I expect Brightland Sea to be up there, whether they win the league or they get into the playoffs. But I still see Brightland Sea for me for the playoffs. I would say still, or they'll be up there. Who else will be up there as well? I mean, Waltham Abbey were in the playoffs last season. They went on a strong run and, you know, got up there. So again, could Waltham Abbey be in the playoffs? Yes, they could well be. So again, that's another one. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. So, you know, who's going to be the strugglers this season? Well, as I say, Newmarket Town stayed up by a point. They've got a nice ground. I think they could well struggle this season, if I'm honest. I think Brantham may struggle. Maybe Downham Town may struggle. I think maybe Wroxham may struggle, but I don't know because they're a very funny team, Wroxham. They can just turn it on and play well. And so I will pick 4 teams towards the end of this video who I think could potentially be relegated. And I will pick teams where I think they'll end up in the playoffs this season and maybe who wins the league. I mean, look, Wickham were up there last season, but they just tailed off a bit and they finished mid-table, so, well, just outside the playoffs, about 8th place, I think they finished. Cambridge City, they finished mid-table as well. They've got a lovely spanking brand new stadium, which is absolutely brilliant, by the way. Jamie's a great guy, Jamie Curtin, nice manager. I've met him a few times. So look, really, really good there at Cambridge. Concord are a steady team. Grays Athletic are quite a steady team. They were like mid-table last season as well. Redbridge were in the bottom half of the table. Walthamstow are a pretty decent side, but just missed out on the playoffs as well. Tilbury, another team, they missed out on the playoffs as well last season, and they were quite a strong team last season. So again, let's see if Tilbury can cause some fireworks again next season. And the reason I say fireworks is because when they played Brighton Sea Regent away, Brighton Sea Regent played away to Tilbury. Apparently there was fireworks set off into the ground from outside. So there was a bit of history there between them two. But yeah, as I say, this is a really, really tough league. So who do I think's going to do? Who's going to be the runners and raiders in this league, and who's going to be the ones who are going to sadly drop out this league? About the teams that have come into the league, I don't know an awful lot about these teams. But anyway, based on what I think, this is what I think personally. Get your predictions in the chat as well. Put your predictions in. What do you think? Who's going to win? Who could be in the playoffs and relegate and all this. Milton Old Town, I mean, they won league last season. They did really well. They finished, well safe of the relegation zone. And, brilliant that they stayed up as well. Fantastic effort for Milton Old Town, which is my local club, by the way. And I play for the walking football team there as well. So look, Milton Old Town, fantastic that they did what they did as well. Heybridge Swifts sort of tail right off because they were in the playoffs at one point and they sort of just slid down that table a bit. But I expect they could come back next season and play well under their manager of Julian Dix. So let's have a look. Let's say who's going to go down this season. Right. So this is my pick of the 4 teams that I think will go down. And I'm not putting them in any order whatsoever of how they'll finish. But it's just the 4 teams that I think will go down this season. So the 4 that I think could go down this season, I think Brantham Athletic will struggle. So I'm going to say Brantham Athletic. I'm going to say Newmarket Town, unfortunately. I'm going to say Downham Town, because I think they may struggle in this league as well. And I'm going to say... do you know what? This is really, really tough. Yeah, so I've got Brantham, Downham, Newmarket, and I'm going to go Wroxham. That's the 4 that I think could go down this season. This is, as I say, a very tough league, so I think they could be the 4 that drop out this season. Yeah. So Wroxham, Newmarket, Brantham and Downham could be the 4 that I think will go down this season. But I could be totally wrong on that. But that's what it's all about, having a bit of a guess around. And, that's the 4 that I pick anyway. Um, so, who do I think will win the league? Well, there's going to be some strong contenders in here because you're going to have all sorts of teams in there, and people will strengthen. So, oh God, it really is a tough one. I'm going to go right for league winners. Do you know anybody could win this league? That's the thing. Anybody could win the league. So I'm going to say the league winners are going to be Maldon and Tiptree. That's what I'm going for, is the league winners. Yeah, Maldon to win the league. So who am I going to put in the playoffs? Playoffs. Oh gosh, again, this is going to be a difficult one because there are so many good teams in this league. But the 4 teams I'm going to pick for the playoffs is, the first one is Brightling Sea region. I think Brightling Sea region will be up there again. They were very good last year, so I expect Brightling Sea to be up there. And I'm also going to go Bowers and Pitsea to go into the playoffs as well, because they'll want to get back to the Isthmian League Premier, so I think they'll be up there as well. Who else will be in them playoffs positions? I'm going to go Whittam Town as well. That'll be in the playoffs. So we've got Brighton Sea, Bowers and Pitsea, Whittam Town, and 4th one. Shall I go for an outsider here? Do you know what? I'm going to say Cambridge City, because I think Cambridge City could have a strong season next season. So I'm going to say Cambridge City. So let's have a recap. So the teams to get relegated, I think, will be Newmarket, Wroxham, Brantham and Downham. That's who I think will go down. But I could be totally and utterly wrong. Let's see how many of these teams actually do go down. I think Maldon will win the league. I think they will. I think Bowers and Pitsea could challenge them, but I think they'll win it. And the playoffs is Brighton Sea, Bowers and Pitsea, Whittam Town and Cambridge City. So you got 3 Essex teams in there and 1 from Cambridgeshire. So that's my pick of who will be in the playoffs next season. Now, if that is the playoffs, I'm not going to pick a winner out of that at the moment, because I don't want to go down that road of picking out a winner. But I just want to put in the picks. That's what I think will be the playoffs. As I say, I could be totally and utterly wrong there. If you have any thoughts, get your predictions in. Who's going to win the league? Who's going to be in the playoffs? Who's going to get relegated? Get your thoughts in and join in with that. But the Isthmian League Division 1 North sure is going to be a great league again next season. And I will be at quite a few of those games next season. I can't wait for next season to start, because I'm trying to go nationwide as well. So I'm going to go all over the place. So I'm going to try and get to as many different grounds and different leagues as I possibly can on the non-league sector, because that's what this channel is going to do, all non-league next season. So, unless there might be FA Cup matches in there. So if a non-league team gets to an FA Cup first round game, I'll go to that as well. So look, lots to look forward to. Can't wait for it to start. Not long till pre-season friendly start in about 4 weeks' time, which is absolutely fantastic. And, you don't realise how quick the season comes to an end, and then you're missing it for so long as well. But been absolutely fantastic. Right, that's it from me, everybody. But before I do go, if you have enjoyed, please do smash the like. It does help the channel. Also, do come and hit that subscribe and join this great community and hit that bell notification. That will let you know when I put any videos on as well, just to keep you informed. So anyway, that's it from me, and I bid you farewell and goodbye, and thank you for watching.